What's going on, nerds? Welcome back to Comic Book Nerd Nation, episode 110. I'm Fox2. We got the whole crew here today. Pirate,
I'll be right back. I'm going to get a beer.
Topher,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go pee.
and the whole effing Brian.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna, do something else.
Wow. I got a
Okay, I'm back.
podcast full of haters. Well, Brian, I'm glad that you didn't completely abandon me like these other two jerk-offs.
My coffee was right next to me.
Oh, fair enough. Okay, so we made it through New Year's. Happy New Year's to everybody that's watching and all that.
I didn't die last week
Yeah.
driving and being on the podcast.
Yeah,
bad.
we made it through that as well. Podcasting while driving, that's got to be a Guinness Book of World Record or something.
The Mayans were wrong another time.
What were they wrong about this time?
I don't know. We're over 5 years,
yeah,
3
okay.
years past
Just
the
from the
expiration
simple
date
fact
for the
that
end of the world.
We're still here.
Yeah,
They were too busy smoking on their peace pipes.
makes
They're
sense.
like, oh, would it be funny if we fucked the future? Got them all scared.
Wow. I think it just had the simple fact that they got tired of making the fucking calendar. Like, I'm sorry, but
So do you
everything
think,
stops at some point. Like you're gonna fucking, you know what I'm saying? Like, you make a long ass rope. At some point, you're gonna stop making a rope. Like, there's gonna be an end to it. Like, you write
Unless
a
you
long
can-
ass book, there's gonna be a fucking last page. Like, you make a calendar, there's gonna be a last year in the fucking calendar. Like,
I mean, I feel
fucking
cheated
world,
every time I have to buy a new calendar every year. I mean, this is bullshit.
Fuck
Why
you,
can't I-
Ryan!
Mayans,
I want
fuck
a Mayan.
you.
I want a
I'm
Mayan calendar.
I'm charging this one to the Mayans.
Right.
You should
Like,
try
I
that.
want a,
You should
I want a
try
calendar
that.
that lasts
Go to the
millennials.
fucking little kiosk at the mall and be like, you know what? I'm charging this one to the Mayans because they said we weren't even going to need this calendar. I'm just
Exactly.
taking it. Fuck off.
This one's on the house, bitches.
This one's on the
Knock
Mayan
the
temple.
puppy calendar stand over. Like,
That shitty little stand that they've got all those like little desk calendars with the sad puppies and shit.
yep.
Fuck your couch.
Fuck your word of the day.
All right. Holiday and everything, and I've been getting over a cold. I did not get a chance to read anything. Surprise, surprise. Did anybody else have a chance to read anything over the past week?
I had plenty of chances
But did
That you
not,
didn't take.
clearly.
and squandered them all.
I think we've all been investing in video
I'm pretty
games.
sure Pirate and
Yeah.
Brian have been investing their time thoroughly in Fallout.
But I read.
Mine was on
Oh,
The Witcher.
all right. Well, let's zap over to Brian and talk about what he read. Since none of the rest of us came up with anything.
I read 2 books that I care to talk about. It was Obi-Wan and Anakin #1.
I picked that up.
And Playgirl.
It was-
Read it.
It was all right. I mean, it's Anakin's like a young Padawan, a little bit older than he was in an age between Clone Wars and The Phantom Menace. It was okay. It starts off there at the Jedi Academy, then they go to some unknown planet that's kind of like off the Republic's radar and the Trade Federation's radar. The only thing I didn't like about it is these people, these humanoid aliens that are battling in like starship / blimps.
Is he still a Padawan?
Yeah, he's still a Padawan.
Okay, so it's way before Clone Wars. It's before the second movie. It's between episodes 1 and 2,
It's
right?
called Attack of the
It would
Clones.
have to be.
Oh, Attack of the Clones. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But they're like these aliens are flying in like these blimp starship things. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
It's
So that's going to be
not-
a lot of a fight, considering a
Yeah.
fucking slingshot could take it down.
Yeah, basically. And then
That
like
thing
at
looked
the end,
rickety as fuck.
one of the humanoid aliens goes to them. What is it? What in the hell is a Jedi? So I'm just like, really? There's like
I mean,
places.
I would be okay with the idea of there being systems that don't know what like a Jedi is. Like,
It was good. I mean, it's first issue. I'm gonna give it a second chance, but
I mean, if you think about it, and by the time episode 4 rolls around, it's only what 18 years after the end of the Clone Wars, after Order 66. Like, it's not even been 20 years, and like you go to Mos Eisley, and the people in the cantina, like even Han Solo's like, like hokey religions, like he doesn't know shit about Jedi and the
that's
Force.
true. That's not even. Yeah.
So
Yeah. That's
Yeah, we
true.
don't even know what. We're not even really sure what's canon anymore because, I mean, all the old Republic shit is all. To me, I guess it's taken away where they had the whole Sith Jedi Wars and stuff like that. But again, like that alien chick looked really young. But moving on.
Does that
And-
hang on before you move on away from that? Does that make it difficult for, especially like Brian and I don't know, I'm Pirate. I don't know how many of the novels you read. I read maybe 3 or 4, but not a ton. But Topher and Brian, I know you guys have read a significant number of the like expanded universe novels. With them taking
one sitting
that
right here.
shit like out of the picture, out of continuity completely, does that make it difficult to like piece this whole thing together, especially now that the comic books are like kind of fitting in between old movies?
I mean, not really, because to me, because a lot of the best stories were all written to take place beyond Return of the Jedi. So, like, that they're now rewriting. Some of the books, I didn't read a lot of them because they're the newer ones. After the Old Republic video game came out, the original one that was on the systems, a lot of those were just written within the past, 5 years. And those added a lot of cool history. But, the only one I read kind of still exists in canon, which was the Darth Bane trilogy. Darth Bane appeared in, I think, season 5 or season 6 of the Clone Wars cartoon.
did he really?
Yeah, he was in one
Shit, I haven't
episode.
finished watching all those.
Yeah, season 6, I think that's the one that went on Netflix.
Yeah. I never watched that one. Son of a bitch, seriously? Wow. Because I just finished reading that trilogy.
The Darth Bane appears as a ghost to Yoda while he's investigating a Sith temple or something like that. So that whole rule of 2 that he created, a master to harness the power and an apprentice to crave it or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that kind of still exists.
Well, that
but,
kind of was already in play though, from episode, was it 2? I think
1. It was the end of 1 when they're when the Jedi Council standing around after they were cremating Qui-Gon's body. Mace Windu and Yoda are standing there talking, and Yoda's like, always 2 there are, a master and an apprentice, and Mace Windu's like, but which one was killed? Talking about Darth Maul, the master or the apprentice. So, a lot that's a hard question to answer because there's so much stuff from the expanded universe that has entered the general consciousness.
That's why
things that
it would be hard to keep separate.
even for people who haven't read the books, there are a lot of things that I've heard people talk about and take for granted that don't ever actually appear in the movies. They're never named. They're never called, like the planet Coruscant. People were referring to it as that, even before the prequel trilogies.
Yeah, well before episode
and
1.
That was never mentioned in the original trilogy. That was from Timothy Zahn came up with that, and the Heir to the Empire trilogy. There are a bunch of characters from the comics and just concepts and things from the books and from video games that have been taken and made canon, made official by having references to them in the movies. So, something like the Rule of 2, it was a book, and then those books were actually written after the Phantom Menace came out.
No. Is
But
that Timothy Zahn? Or
No,
talking about
the
Darth
Darth
Bane. I have not.
The Darth Bane trilogy came out in 2006. The first one was written.
But
and
they
Phantom
build
Menace was
upon
in
the rule.
'99. So
They build upon the rule of
Yeah.
two and stuff like that.
So it's hard to say because there's all these blurred lines between what is canon and what isn't. You know, like the location of planets and things like that.
Yeah.
Disney did just release a new galactic map that I saw the other day that was kind of interesting. Oh, actually, that's something I wanted to ask you guys about. Had you seen that?
No.
The galactic map. Disney released an official galactic map which has a bunch of the planets from various things, the old movies, the some of the books, some of the some of the expanded universe stuff too, like that major species come from. It looks pretty similar to what we had before, but they did put on there the new planets
What
that were
what does it look like exactly?
It looks like a big space map.
pretty much. I'll find it here in a second. But the thing that I found interesting was that they put the new planets on here from Force Awakens, and the planet that they're on
It looks like this.
for Maz Kanata, it sure does look like that.
I bought the book after you talked
Did you
about
buy
it
the
last
book?
week.
Yeah.
Yep.
What in the fuck? Why can't I get it to show this damn picture?
Now they released today. I forgot the name of the planet off the top of my head, but they released today Luke's actual planet that he's on with the first Jedi Temple, and I don't think I see it in here.
It is Octo. Octu.
Yeah, I don't
Which,
think it's in
there
here.
was some speculation about
I
that.
didn't see that one on
because,
there.
there was some speculation about that because the word "ak" is or "ak," depending on how you say it. In Hebrew is brother. So I don't know what you would exactly take from that, but some people were saying it was more of a literal, like, phonetic thing. Actu sounds like Act Two. Like kind of discrediting the prequel trilogy altogether and calling this Act Two. Like,
Right, that's funny. No, the thing that confused me is Brian, maybe you can point these locations out because I can't get this freaking picture to come up. Takodana is the world that they are on with Maz Kanata, where Rey touches the lightsaber and has the visions and everything. That where Kylo Ren comes and abducts her. And Hosnian Prime is the world, the system that was blown up by Starkiller Base. So they are
we wanting to
half
get
a galaxy away from.
We're wanting to get a distance judgment here.
Yeah, according to the map, they're like half a galaxy away, but they're all standing there on the surface of the planet, and with the naked eye, they can see this red beam streak across the sky and watch these planets blow up.
Questionable,
So,
maybe.
what
maybe
the
a little,
fuck?
Maybe a little questionable. All right.
By science, that wouldn't be
Well-
possible because by science, the light of the dying planets wouldn't reach them for another like
Years.
Right?
100 years or
Years.
something like that.
This goes back to the planet who's so close to the sun that it has to draw its power is covered in snow.
Yeah, that's true too.
I don't know.
There is that as well.
I mean, when I even
Science!
Mike was watching that, and I was sitting there like,
Listen, what we here all collect, we all here sit here and talk about every single Saturday for like 2 years. There is no logic in what we read and talk about.
that's a
good point. I mean, that's a good point.
Logic
but,
gets thrown out the window.
But you know how that this is a good movie and that this is a good franchise and it's a great story is the fact that people just like you and I and other millions of people around the world are willing to spend their free time debating these little minute details about this film. Other movies, this doesn't happen with other movies. It just doesn't. You know, there's a few series out there, Harry Potter, Star Wars, Star Trek. I mean, I can't think of a lot of them. There are some outliers where this does happen. You get these really, really big fans that are willing to spend their time debating and going over all these things. But, you know, your average movie that comes out, you know, a Will Ferrell movie or something like that, nobody says shit about all the stuff in it that shouldn't be there, or the mishaps or whatever. It's just, that's the fucking movie.
They paid such close attention to getting so many things right and making sure that continuity was good and that things had reasons and made sense and one of the things that a lot of people felt wasn't very fleshed out was the whole the First Order thing, and well, more like what's the state of the galactic governments. Like they mention this the new republic government, but they never show it except for like 10 seconds when it's about to get blown the fuck up. So
where
it's
it's going to be released in? Book,
Rogue One
novels.
But well, yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying they have to, but like, a friend of mine pointed out, that typically the crawl at the beginning would introduce like the state of the galaxy.
Wow.
And I like that they start out with Luke Skywalker is missing, and like there was some cool stuff in it, but they didn't really do a whole lot to explain like to bridge the gap. And I know that they've got all kinds of tie-ins and everything, but like I didn't. You kind of had a feeling for what was going on between movies with the other ones, like even without reading books or watching the shows or doing anything like that. This one, it feels like there was some stuff that was left unexplained and not in a we'll reveal it later, kind of way, in a like, oh, I really wish we knew this kind of way. Like it would make more sense. Like it's kind of hard to care that this system gets blown up, and like how big was it? How consequential was it? Like, holy shit, it's a huge planet.
That's
like
a great point that you bring up about that opening scroll. It doesn't have. I just pulled it up. It doesn't have anything really about. I mean, I'll read it real quick. I mean, it's not even very long compared to some of the other ones. Episode 7. The Force Awakens. There is
John, can we have the theme song before he reads the scroll,
yes,
like in the movies?
Bum, 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 bum,
The Force Awakens. There is despair across the galaxy. Decades of unending war between the remnants of the Empire. All right, you gotta stop that shit. Nobody's gonna be able to hear it. All right. There is despair across the galaxy, decades of unending war between the remnants of the Empire. Do you want me to read this or fucking...
What? You can't have the crawl without the music.
We don't have a crawl.
For the third fucking time, I'm going to try and read this to prove your point, actually. There is despair across the galaxy. Decades of unending war between the remnants of the Empire and the Republic have taken their toll. Vast stretches of galactic territory are lawless frontiers. Presumed dead, Jedi Master Skywalker is a myth. Without the guidance of the Force, the Republic is blind to traitors hiding within. Hope dwindles as Imperial Star Destroyers bear down on Tatooine, carrying relentless Inquisitors on the hunt for an artifact that might change everything.
Wait, what's the scroll? What's that for?
Wait, what is that?
That's not the
That
scroll.
is not it at all. Somebody just fucking photoshopped the whole goddamn thing. Wow!
Yeah, because the real one
got me.
The real one starts off with Luke Skywalker has vanished.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they straight got me there, man.
So, but what I'm...
What'd you get from checking facts on the internet?
No. I'm telling you, there's a bunch of these that are obviously fucking photoshopped, like you can tell. And then there's like this one that like it straight looks fucking. It looked like it was like all fucking kind of shaky looking, like it was a picture from the theater and everything. All right, well, fuck that. You're still right. Whatever.
All right, so but what I'm saying is like, has anybody read Star Wars Aftermath, the book that came out on Force Friday? That's supposed to like be one of 3 books to tie in Jedi to Force Awakens. Am I the only one that read that?
You're the only one that probably read it, but I know of the book you're talking about because you explained it to us when you got it.
I'm pretty sure that they're gonna explain all that in these books because the first one is basically, besides like the action parts, certain heads of the Imperial, like I guess Navy, are all meeting on this planet to discuss the future of the Empire, who's going to lead it and stuff like that. What do they do? And and that's a big thing with what we're talking about now, because we don't get that in the movies. We don't get what led to the First Order being set up, and this has a little bit of that they started talking. The Imperials started talking about it right after Endor.
Here you go. Luke Skywalker has vanished.
Oh, here we go.
In his absence, the sinister First Order has risen from the ashes of the Empire and will not rest until Skywalker, the last Jedi, is destroyed. With the support of the Republic, General Leia Organa leads a brave resistance. She is desperate to find her brother Luke and gain his help in restoring peace and justice to the galaxy. Leia has sent her most daring pilot on a secret mission to Jakku, where an old ally has discovered a clue to Luke's whereabouts.
That'd be great if Pirate knew how to fucking play like background music.
Right.
Like maybe you turn it down on the mains a little bit, Skid Row.
Oh,
just
18 and left to go.
Just say it like you got that bitch cranked to max, and you're supposed to be like the subtle background noise, but that's cool.
I know your amp goes to 11.
I watched the movie in IMAX 3D. I don't know. That's kind of what it sounded like.
Oh, so it's basically what your eardrums being blown off?
I was going
pretty much.
Actually, I was kind of surprised when we saw it in 3D. I was kind of surprised at how not loud it was.
Really?
I thought it was.
Did you go to the IMAX 3D or a regular 3D?
No, we went to regular 3D.
It was regular 3D.
Oh, because I went to an IMAX 3D, and holy goddamn, when it came on, I was like, "Oh my god, I'm gonna lose an eardrum."
We had the rumble seats though.
Yeah, we had the rumble seats.
Were nice.
That was cool.
Neat.
That's the first time I've ever had that. That was pretty.
Man,
sweet.
I'd the whole time my seats were rumbling, I'd be one of those annoying people that go,
It's not.
God,
Honestly,
I think
it's not that noticeable. Like it's.
No.
I think enough people cream.
oh, so it's like a timid little
Yeah, it really.
vibrate.
It really like you know how like when like if you have a lot of bass or something, it hits and you can just kind of subtly feel the vibration. It kind of it kind of
feel the
feels,
vibrations.
Yeah.
Come on,
Vibrations.
feel it.
It kind of is like that. You know, it wasn't like a noticeable like, oh, we're shaking your chair, like, you know what I mean? It was just kind of. I didn't even notice it honestly until like halfway through the fucking movie. I leaned over
I didn't
to
notice
Pirate
it, so
and I was
you
like,
told me about
I
it.
was like, dude, these chairs are they're shaking when the fucking shit blows up. I mean, it was easily halfway through the movie by the time that I even noticed it.
So it's more like a
I think that's
comfort
good.
thing?
I think that's good because you don't want to notice it. You don't want it to like be distracting. You want.
I mean, you don't want a massage
to the
chair. You want a motherfucking.
I don't know. I wouldn't mind a massage chair.
I don't know. I'd be falling fucking asleep. Are you kidding me?
I think that's a comfort thing.
All right, so Brian, what was the other thing you read? Sorry, now that we took 20 minutes to discuss your first comic.
Because we'll be talking about Star Wars for the next 2 years.
Yeah,
until
2
the next
years.
one
This
comes
is the
out.
next fucking Star Wars podcast. We might as well change the fucking name.
I hope the other thing you read was also Star Wars, so we can keep
No,
talking.
it's Deadpool and Cable,
Ah, nice. I
which
picked that one
was
too.
pretty fun. I liked it.
Did they re-bring that out?
Yeah,
Oh, is that issue 1?
it's I
Yeah,
think it's a
issue 1.
it's a whatchamacallit.
They said
It's a
I think the deal is it's going to start as a limited series, but depending on sales, how popular it is, they might turn it into an ongoing.
because
That
I've
was
read
an
the
awesome series.
yeah, that
Yeah.
first series was awesome. I loved it. Even when they split it off until when Cable left, it was
Yeah.
Deadpool and Cable, but Cable was crossed out and it was whoever's name was inserted.
But it was only that I mean, because there was like 50 issues or something with Deadpool and Cable, and then there was like maybe 10 where he was crossed out and that was it, or something like that, or maybe it was like 10 in the middle of those 50. I can't remember how it was, but I loved it.
But it was good. I liked it. I can't wait for issue 2, and I can't wait for this week or today, as this video goes up, to pick up Deadpool and Spider-Man.
Yes. That looks awesome.
Which Spider-Man is going to be in? Is it Peter Parker?
It's Peter Parker.
It's
Peter
Peter Parker. What when does the final Secret Wars issue come out?
Should be this month, if they don't push it back another time.
When was it? Wait, when was it slated initially?
December.
What?
No.
No.
It was never
It was
supposed
like
to come out.
October. Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
originally supposed to be 8 issues, and then they extended
Yeah.
it to 9.
Okay,
and
that's what I
8 was
thought.
supposed to come out in like October, I think.
Yeah, I was like, wait, this seems like we have been talking something about Secret Wars for a long time
Forever,
now.
yeah.
At this
But
point.
hasn't this happened for the last like 7 major events that happened in both Marvel and DC? Especially
Yeah.
Forever Evil waited like 2 months to come out with the last issue or
Well,
something
but
like that.
I feel Forever Evil did it justice by not rushing the last one. They put a pause on it, then came out with the last one because
The
they
biggest
actually-
problem. The biggest problem for me. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were
You're
done.
I mean, it's pirate. It's cool.
Right.
That's just I'm used to.
No.
It.
I mean, if
You
I
like
was doing
how
it
he
on
just, like,
purpose.
He just like shut the fuck up when you started talking. He was just like,
It's like a dog that's been kicked too many times. It knows its place.
shit. God damn.
Sorry,
Fuck,
Peter.
that's
We do
fucked
not.
up. That's
Peter, we
super
do not
fucked
harm
up.
animals.
I was just saying that it's the really annoying thing about it is like I don't care if it takes like an extra 6 months to finish, like if it's a good story, but like when it has world changing ramifications and all the aftermath books are already being released 2 months before they finish the fucking story, it's like
But see,
okay.
they don't care because they can just have another world-changing event and fix all their fuck ups that they
do
that
over.
happened during a rush. Like
Mulligan.
Mulligan, yep. Hit the fucking
Okay,
easy
so
button.
here's one other thing that I wanted to mention about Star Wars because I know
Pew,
Topher,
pew, pew, pew,
Topher
pew,
was
pew, pew.
happy to go back. He's happy to go back to Star Wars,
Aren't we all?
as I am. I'm loving. I'm loving right now.
Right.
Right now is a great time to be alive. This is, as a Star Wars fan, this is it, man.
It's about to open in China
Okay.
and down Avatar.
Oh shit, you're right.
So it. Let's see. It came in at
Like a
second place
wrecking ball.
in domestic. It is now currently
Pretty much.
at second place, second highest earner of all time in just 19 days after its release.
I mean,
Yes,
beat out-
and it hasn't
beat out-
even opened
no,
in China,
here's-
which is the second biggest worldwide
Yes.
market.
Now here's the numbers. This is what's gonna fucking is absolutely staggering. Okay, in first place is Avatar with 760.5 million lifetime domestic gross. This is domestic. This is just America. Okay. Now, Star Wars is currently at 740.3 million in 19 days. To put that into perspective for you, just for some context, it took Avatar 72 days to hit 700 million.
Wow.
It took
Oh,
Avatar
wow.
72 days to hit 700 million, and in 19 days, Star Wars is at 740 million. This motherfucking film is shitting on records. It's not breaking records. It's not beating records. It's shitting on them. This
Yeah,
is
that's pretty
unbelievable. And like
I
you
mean-
said, internationally, it hasn't even opened in the second largest market in the world.
I've already seen it twice, and I would have already seen it 3 times, but I had to ended up having to cancel that third one. But I was still plan on seeing it at least
I'll
once
go again.
more.
I'm going to
Yeah,
go again
and-
for sure.
Here's
And
the
the,
thing.
the funny thing is, like the reason I knew this movie was big and would break records, like
Because Fox
not
2
because
went
of all
and
the
saw it.
exactly
Because
not because
Fox
of all
2
the
actually
advanced
went and
ticket
saw it.
sales, because of Avengers: Age of Ultron. Shit, I'll catch that on video 6 months later. Ant-Man, still haven't seen that shit.
I saw that.
Star Wars,
I saw it.
motherfucker saw it twice in the first week.
That's what I'm saying.
That's good.
Damn.
I did see
Speaking-
Ant-Man. I did see Ant-Man. It's
Staying
good.
on the Star Wars topic, did you guys see? Everybody here has played Battlefront at some point.
No.
Yes.
I thought you at least played the demo. Okay.
No.
Did you
That's
guys
all right,
see the Aussie commentator for Battlefront? It's the fuck.
No.
He's like this Australian that goes off the handle commentating this gameplay footage.
What?
It is the funniest shit ever, dude. It's a stormtrooper versus Luke Skywalker on Hoth, and he commentates it. I don't know how this is gonna sound. So if it starts sounding
You
shitty,
can't
Fox,
put it
tell
on here.
me
You can't put it on here
why.
because the video will get taken down.
The audio?
Yeah,
It's
it'll get flagged.
damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, so look,
YouTube's
I'm
like
gonna-
that.
let me find. Hold on,
I mean, we can talk about send them to that person's channel.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna look for.
Yeah, absolutely. Give them a shout out and
or just look it up in the search.
Tell them where to go. But
well, it's on. I sent it on Unilad, but just search on. Go to unilad.com, UNILAD, and it says Aussie commentates on brutal Stormtrooper versus Luke Skywalker fight. It's the funniest shit ever. Dude's like, oh shit, he's fucking shooting him. Like, it's like starts with Luke Skywalker all the way across the battlefield on Hoth, and he's like, oh shit, he's shooting him up like a great Stormtrooper. Oh, he's missing all over the place. He's like, oh, he's fucking sucks. Yeah, exactly. So then it's like all of a sudden.
What is this? Are you a target? Because I miss you. Oh my god. Fantastic. Do you think? Okay, here's a question.
I think
in the next 2
John
years,
lost his audio. We can't hear him, and he's laughing to himself.
Pirate, we cannot hear you at all.
I don't think he can hear us.
I don't know, but this is really funny.
He's still going.
Motherfucker's
You have a
still
great
going.
old time over there.
He just
Still going. It just clicked. That moment when it sets in.
Look at that!
That moment when it just hits you. Nobody hears you. Oh, reality setting in. That's brutal. That's some brutal shit going on over there.
Oh
right
man,
we can't hear,
No,
or
we cannot hear you at all.
somebody
tell me
text
he
him
unplugged,
or
son.
something. Send him a message on Facebook or some shit. That's funny as hell. I have no idea what is going on over there. Obviously, some problems. Do you guys think that at any point we will get tired of debating and talking about this new Star Wars movie?
Nope, because there will be something new.
I don't
All the
think
time
we
for
will.
us.
I
Yeah.
really don't.
I mean, if there's one thing Disney is good at, it's fucking marketing
Stringing
and
you
tie-ins
along.
and fucking toy sales. Like they can market their asses off. Like I think there's just going to be a constant stream of shit to talk about. I mean, the movie's still going to be in theaters for what,
long time.
probably 4
Couple
months, maybe.
Yeah, a couple months.
And
at least.
then the DVDs will be coming out, a couple months after that. And you've got books and comics. You've got the Rogue One movie supposed to come out, what, about a year and a half from now or something like that?
No, it's supposed to
I
come
mean,
out in
No,
December.
yeah,
Or is it,
like
Like
this year?
almost
Okay,
a little
so
less than a year.
I mean, these movies are they're actually close enough together that they can keep releasing little. There'll be production.
Tidbits,
They've
yeah.
already started filming episode 8.
The hype for the Rogue One movie will start soon,
Yeah.
probably.
They've already started filming episode 8, or at least started pre-production stuff. I don't know if they're actually doing if the actors have shown up on set or not. But I mean, like, there's going to be little production details and like all the stuff that led up to Force Awakens. I mean, we were talking about the lead up to that movie for a year. They will find enough stuff to trickle out to keep it in the the public consciousness, like, at a pretty high level, I feel like.
So I recently, I mentioned it last week. Were all of you guys here last week? I can't remember.
I was for a period of time.
I mentioned that
I was driving.
I picked up the whole saga, the 6-disc set. Well, it's actually, I think it's 8-disc set, but it's all 6 movies on Blu-ray from the local Walmart. It was on sale for like $80 or something. Totally worth it. It's got like fucking 40 hours of extra content or something.
Either Chris is really messy, or he just happens to have
He has
everything in arm's reach.
Well, he is really messy, and he does have everything in arm's reach.
Yeah, why can't it be both?
But I recently, like, since I acquired this, like, just in the evenings, I'll like, as I'm laying in bed, I'll put on one of the Star Wars movies and watch a little bit of it before I fall asleep. And I'm up to pretty close to the end of the first episode. Or not
Yes.
episode 1, but I'm sorry, but the A New Hope.
That's Battlefront.
Yes, I played Battlefront. It's also in arm's reach. That's the one I've got.
Some
The
of those old
box
movies
set.
are. That's not the set that I have. The one I have has Darth
This is
Vader on
like
the
the-
front, but
The
Yeah.
book
That has
one.
Darth Vader
Oh,
too,
okay.
technically.
yeah.
Technically.
Technically.
No, I mean, like
Yeah.
on the front cover. Oh well, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it?
I see
Yeah.
what you're saying. But the first 3 episodes honestly weren't as bad as I remember them. You know, I mean, Jar Jar Binks, yes, he is the bane of my existence. He's an awful character. But the movies as a whole, they're really not bad. I mean, compared to other shit that's out there, they're pretty good.
I felt that the
That's what I-
first 2 of those was trying to overload the film with information of like who this is, who this is, who this is.
Like episode 1 and 2, or episode
Yes.
4 and 5.
Episode 1 and 2, and then it's like the third one. It was all about like a little bit of each one of them. Basically, their demise is all it was, and they just wrapped it up. I don't know, like. I think that you could probably watch the second and third. Actually, I take that back. You could definitely watch the second and third one. Not really have to watch the first one to get the gist of what's going on, because the first one doesn't really focus in on anybody, and the second one they try to cram all these people in to let you know who they are, and then the third one it's just like, okay, this is what happens to him. This is what happens to him. This is what happens to him. This is what happens to him, and they all die. You know.
I actually really liked the third one. I thought
I thought
episode
the third
too.
one, yeah, I thought the third one was 8 out of 10 probably.
Episode
Yeah.
1 has its moments. You know, like I don't mind child Anakin. He's a kid. You know,
Yeah, I thought Child
Like,
Anakin was fine.
child Anakin's fine. You know, like
Yeah.
and I like Qui-Gon, and dude, Obi-Wan, like fucking Ewan McGregor is hands down the shining star in all 3 of those. Like he's so good.
Really, I
Um,
thought Samuel L. Jackson was really.
Yeah, I mean he's good too. It's hard for me to see Samuel L. Jackson
I
with
hope
anybody
you were joking.
other
No,
than
I actually,
Samuel
I
L.
did-
Jackson.
Quick little thing. Did you know that Samuel L. Jackson demanded a purple lightsaber, and the hilt of the
He did.
lightsaber said "mother"?
It
Fuck,
says
badass
BA
mother.
It says BAMF on it.
Yeah.
Badass, but yeah, I knew that.
What?
Yeah, because there was no purple power crystal that in the light in the force or the lightsaber spectrum until he came along, because he demanded a purple one because he wanted to be different.
What did
What
you
an
off?
question.
I just lost a
Um,
little bit of respect for him.
Not me. I think it's great.
But yeah, no, I mean the first one, if it weren't for the political stuff, it's a little slow. It's, you know, like you've got Jar Jar in it, and it's like, you know, he's very annoying. He's very obnoxious in that movie. You know, like they tried to go, they tried to, instead of making it just a fun movie for everybody, they tried to have all this political intrigue for the older crowd and like the really stupid, silly stuff for the younger crowd. And you know, like I said last week, if it were any movie other than Star Wars, we'd
It'd
all
be
be
fun.
going, "Oh man, this is awesome! You know, this is great!" You know, but comparing it to the original trilogy, it wasn't there.
It's not there.
And episode 2 wasn't bad. It's just the story itself wasn't terrible, but oh my god, Hayden Christensen's acting in it is just fucking cringeworthy. Like if it weren't for him, you know, and like all the
It's not fair.
Obi-Wan, he's holding me back, you know, and like all the
Some of the
romance
shit
with
that
him
he
and
says,
Padme.
like I think is just
Oh my
bad
God.
scripting. I think it's just bad scripting.
Well, if
A
it's
lot of it-
if it's what he says, yes, it's bad scripting. If it's how he says it,
I
it's
think
bad
it-
acting.
It's what he says. I mean,
I didn't think this. They had no chemistry either. Like it was just super awkward. Like, you know, the Clone Wars cartoon is like how Anakin in that relationship should have been. You know, like it's so much better than the way it's portrayed in the movie. But episode 3, when he starts turning to the dark side and, you know, and like starts going evil, well, you know, like all the fits of, you know, emotion and passion and rage and whatnot, like they fit a little better. You know, like it can be a little more raw and annoying because it's more angry than whiny at that point, you know, so it works a little better. And I thought the third movie was actually, you know, I think I might almost rather watch Revenge of the Sith than Return of the Jedi, to be honest.
What? You don't like Return of the Jedi?
No, I love Return of the Jedi. I'm saying if I'm
all black, like man.
I'm saying if I'm ordering the movies or if I'm just sitting down and I want to watch a movie.
Hold on. All right, let's hold on. Let's go down the line. We're gonna start with Brian just because he's on the far left on my screen. We're gonna go with Brian first. rank the existing 7 Star Wars movies
From first to last or last
from
to first?
best to last. Best
No,
to
the
worst.
worst to best.
Worst to best.
Worst to best.
Worst to best. Okay, so 1,
Okay.
2, 3. Yeah, this is going episode 1, episode 2, episode
Okay.
3, episode 4, episode 5. Oh no, wait, I lost myself. Yeah, episode 6 and 7 are a close tie to me. So it's basically flip them around.
So flip 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's next?
Topher.
2, 1, 6,
Oh,
3, 5, 7, 4.
so A New Hope is your favorite. That's your best. That's the best one.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Pirate.
2,
Okay.
1, 3, 4, 7, 6, and 5.
That is actually the exact. I've been writing it down. That's the exact order that I picked. 2, 1, 3, 4, 7, 6, and then 5. I'm really shocked that you put Return of the Jedi. So what you had it third? It's the third worst on your list, Topher.
It's the 4th worst on other people's lists.
Well, they
No,
should
no,
in
it's
the
not.
vagina.
I mean,
Not on anybody else's list.
Well, maybe not your guys.
Oh, right. Those other people that aren't here.
Yeah.
everybody else in
That's
this
you
podcast
really,
that's
really,
not here
you
to
didn't
validate
like,
it.
You don't like Return of the Jedi. Wow, I really like just the whole fucking like the beginning when he's like the fucking master Jedi coming into Jabba's palace and like just I don't know, man. I love that movie.
You know,
Slave Leia.
there are good
Yeah.
scenes in it. I think the Slave Leia thing doesn't hold up very well over time, to be honest.
Yeah,
Well,
it is what it is.
There's there's the sail barge stuff, you know, like is okay. Like it just I feel like that movie's a little slow to develop, and then you've got Ewoks destroying, you know, ATSTs and like
They thought C-3PO was a god. That
don't-
was like hilarious.
don't get me wrong, there are great like I love the movie. Like don't this isn't me hating on it or saying it's shitty or saying I don't like it. Like I still rate it very, very highly.
just
It's just if I'm gonna
almost the worst of
in
all
the
the
middle.
Star Wars movies.
if
Just
I'm
in the
gonna
middle.
sit down and rewatch some of the Star Wars movies, I would probably be more entertained putting on Episode 3 than Episode 6.
Oh, more
Wow.
entertained putting my finger in my butt.
Wow. All right. On that note, let's
Just
talk
kidding.
about news. Pirate.
I don't want doo-doo stains on my finger.
You know, I found it interesting though that like
You can't interrupt the news theme.
well, you interrupted me with the news theme. No, I was just gonna say like
Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah, crank it back up,
Take it
Skid
back.
Row.
Rewind.
Yeah, he did the first news theme a little lower, like he should have did the crawl theme.
Yeah, no shit.
I
Where we
tried-
at on that one? Fucking
He
Skid
learned
Row?
too late.
Put it back up to
I-
11.
No, I just find it interesting that like you know you I don't want to say shit on me, but you gave me a hard time there for putting one of the prequel
Say
movies
it.
ahead of one of the original
Say it.
trilogies. But
Say
we
it.
all put Episode 7 above 1 or 2 of the originals, and nobody batted an eye about that. I find that
It's
interesting.
still new and shiny. It's got that.
Yeah,
lusty-
I mean that's part of it. It's new and shiny, but I also do think, and I don't think that you would disagree with the fact that the new movie definitely aligns itself a lot closer with the old with 4, 5, and 6 than it does with 1, 2, and 3 for sure.
See, one of
Well-
the reasons I put it so high is because over like 1, Episode 4 or Empire Strikes Back is because this was the first Star Wars I seen in theaters that was so good and so exciting. It made me feel like I was alive to me, that feels like what people seeing Star Wars for the first time back in the 70s felt like.
The experience of it was
Yeah.
important to you.
Yeah.
I put mine higher up
I put it higher than A New Hope.
because it had the original cast that caused me to fall in love. Well, not most of the original cast that caused me to fall in love with the original 3. If they would not have been in this movie, I don't know how I would even feel about it, tell you the God's honest truth.
Yeah,
if like
I mean-
Han Solo and Chewbacca, I mean, I
think
was
that's-
really hoping for more of Luke Skywalker and R2-D2, but I can deal with that. But if the next one fails on me with it, I'm gonna be pissed.
I
but-
think that's a good point. I think
mean-
what you're saying is a very valid point. Is that tie, that link to episodes 4, 5, and 6 is a huge part of it for a lot of fans. Episodes 1, 2, and 3 didn't have that. It had the characters, Obi-Wan Kenobi and Yoda and R2-D2, sure, but it didn't have the Han Solo. It didn't have the Princess Leia. It didn't have, it was a whole different cast of actual actors and everything. And it just, when you go back and watch them now, I just watched 1, 2, and 3, and I watched most of 4 over the last week and a half or so. And there's a big difference between the feel of the first 3 movies and the feel of the 4th. It's not just the technology and the CGI. Obviously, that stuff's going to be different, but it just doesn't. It doesn't feel as much like Star Wars as Episode 7 did. Episode 7 was shot very much to feel like Episodes 4, 5, and 6. Whereas Episodes 1, 2, and 3 were not at all.
Mm-mm.
Almost
So
a
I was
different
curious-
genre of film.
I was curious how other people felt, so I checked out Rotten Tomatoes for the Star Wars saga. Would you like to know the order that the movies are ranked in terms of Rotten Tomatoes rankings?
Yes,
I'm
would.
sure, I'm
I'm
judging by the
intrigued.
shit-eating grin on your face, it's closer to your rankings.
Not necessarily. It's interesting though. So Episode 1 is the worst at 56%. Then Episode 2, it's 66%. Then Episode 3 is 79%. Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, is only 80%. It is 1% better than Revenge of the Sith. Meanwhile, Episodes 4 and 5 are both 94%, and Episode 7 is 93, coming in just behind 4 and 5. So very similar to kind of the average of of the ratings that we gave it.
What was
Yeah.
the highest again?
The highest was a 94%, and both Episodes 4 and 5 had a 94%.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I think we're generally about.
Yeah,
I think we're all generally pretty much the medium. You know what I mean? Like we all have, the same view.
I
To
can't
where
believe,
each trilogy is
yeah, I
at.
can't believe that Force Awakens has got such a high rating already. 93% so far. Do you think that'll drop over time?
Yeah.
I think it will.
I think it will.
No, okay,
As
so
people
there's
dissect it, I think it will.
Well, there's the critics ratings and the fan ratings, I guess. Those were critics ratings, and so I'm guessing that a whole lot of new critics ratings probably don't get added as time goes on.
Yeah,
What are the fan ratings like for those movies? I wonder.
Okay, so the fan ratings then, the lowest is Episode 2, Attack of the Clones at 58%, with Phantom Menace just barely above it at 60%. And then, there's a pretty big gap here. Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, is at 65, whereas Return of the Jedi is 94. So there is a big difference. There's a big jump in the fan rating on that one.
Then what's okay?
Whereas,
so it goes
whereas
2, 1,
Episode
3.
7 is only 90%. So Return of the Jedi
What's
is higher
A New
than
Hope?
that. A New Hope is 96, and then the top on the list is Empire at 97.
So is that not exactly what me and Fox rated him
I
at?
think so.
What was your order?
2,
2, 1, 3,
3,
4,
4,
7, 6,
7,
5.
6, 5.
No, it's
No, A New
two.
Hope was higher.
It's 2, 1, 3, 7, 6, 4, 5 on here
Okay.
So we
in
just
terms of
missed-
fan rating.
We just missed a little bit.
And the fan ratings, I feel like are the ones that probably change a lot over
Yeah,
time.
critic ones. You're right. I don't think critics. I couldn't imagine like
No, nobody's going out there
Siskel and Ebert's
reviewing A
not
New
going to go
Hope
and
now.
you know
And if
Right.
they are,
take
they're
back the-
pretty late to the game. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
exactly.
Like, fucking nobody's reading your review. Let's be honest. Like, how about Get a Life? All right, news.
But I
Pirate.
do find it interesting
no,
there that.
no.
Sorry. Okay.
News. Pirate.
Go ahead.
All right. Sorry, I had to fuck. It's 2 times. That's
That's 3.
blasphemy.
That's 3 times the news.
All right, this is a story that Brian brought to the table. Krang confirmed for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. Tell me about it.
I didn't read the article. It just
Well,
confirmed. Basically, I didn't read the. I skimmed through it, but they
Like,
basically
fucking-
confirmed.
well, I told you. Let's
It
talk
is what
about
it
but I
is.
didn't read that
It's-
shit.
I mean,
Yep.
you really don't need,
Frank
like-
confirmed. That is
basically
true.
confirmed. Yeah, it basically just confirmed that Krang will be the main villain of the movie. Which, if we all paid attention to the trailer and watched it, you see pieces of ships flying around that look like pieces of Technodrome, and a big portal in the sky. So, I mean, it's kind of relevant that it's kind of like said by that trailer that he's going to be in the movie.
Is he gonna have the giant body suit?
I don't know. I hope it's that derpy body.
Let's check out the second piece of news to see if Brian did his half of his homework on this one as well. A Funko Pop spoiler for Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah,
Brian?
I read that. I read that to you while we were waiting for everybody else because they're all slow.
I'm throwing you a fucking softball here.
But
son.
it basically confirms that one of the Funko Pops coming out for Captain America: Civil War is a Giant Man Funko Pop, which that's kind of been talked about, like when the movie was being made, that he's gonna go large, and he basically used the power in the movie at the end, but instead of turning large, he turned normal size because he was like less than microscopic.
Interesting.
Which I can't
I feel
wait to
like-
see that. Seeing that will be pretty cool.
It's gonna be interesting how they do it and keep it intimidating or
Not overly powerful, like
well,
relative.
no. I don't even care about like power. Like they've got a fucking Hulk. You know, like power isn't a question. You know,
Okay,
like
but how do you
it's
put a cinematic? Just out of curiosity, and to interrupt you like you did to Pirate, how do you put a cinematic giant man that's, I don't know, the size of fucking a skyscraper?
Dude, they was
against
doing
the
that
Hulk?
shit in the 50s.
I know.
Well, I mean,
That's
Hulk's
not
not
in
in.
That's why
woman.
I'm saying cinematically.
Hulk's not in the movie, but
He's not. But
like we've
but
seen
you
it
have
in
to
the.
keep it. I'm saying you have to keep it relevant. You got to keep everything relative. Everything
Oh,
has
he's
to be
probably
relative.
catching
Otherwise,
something out of it.
otherwise the whole fucking thing's gonna fall apart.
I guarantee he's like catching a
Well,
building or
there's-
something like that.
yeah. He's probably using it more for utility than for
He's gonna take a giant
beating
shit
up on people. You know, that'd be hilarious. But
Drop a fucking 30-foot
no, like-
log on something.
I mean, comics are all about that. When you consider the power level of various characters, like what character hasn't fought what character? Like pick any 2 characters, they probably fought at some point, you know. And like, there's probably been the
Hulk
weaker
and
one
Superman.
has probably
They fought.
in
any
there.
2 in the same universe.
Yeah,
Pick them, and they've probably fought each other.
Just
And the weaker one has probably won at some point. Like they always find some way to keep it fresh, like some reason why they're not at full power, or some environmental reason, or a thing that's distracting them, or you know, like there's a million ways to do that. Like it's practically comic writers' job to figure out how the weak characters can stand toe to toe with the tough ones. You know, so I mean, like I'm not worried about that. The thing I'm worried about is,
just,
you know,
just ask
the-
Bill Cosby.
Oh wow.
Too soon?
Whew.
No, it's not too
Yeah.
soon.
No, perfectly on
What's
time.
something in my drink?
But I miss those Jello commercials. The Jill, I'm
The bullet pop.
It's got vitamins in it to make you feel all loopy when you don't want to go into work the next day. Hey, I want to show you my penis.
I was really wondering when this was gonna fucking come up, and we were gonna talk about Bill Cosby. I'm sorry.
It make you feel good.
You know what?
man.
I heard
Show you my
something, and
penis.
this is something that I heard on a radio show. Bill Cosby is possibly the most prolific serial rapist in the history of the United States.
Bill Clinton's getting up there from what I've been hearing.
Bill Cosby. He used to be like the American Dad.
Have you seen
Jell-O
the cover
commercials
of
and shit? Like most prolific serial rapist ever.
what magazine is it? Is it Rolling Stone or something right now that has on the cover? It's like an interview with all the women that have come out and accused him, and like it
Is it
has
like a
like all their
50-foot
stories and
billboard?
details. Well, it's just like rows and columns of like all these women. It's like holy fucking shit.
Oh yeah, it's like 70.
What a
It's
dick.
like 70. It's like
What a
70,
dick, literally.
Oh, that came out really wrong. No, that's not what I meant.
What a dick.
That motherfucker goes hard to the paint.
He must be packing. Dude's got a piece on
Ah, baby, it's cold outside. Something in your drink.
It should have been what a pudding pop.
him.
I
So
guess the lady is all worked up and everything, got the vitamins and make her feel good.
what I was trying to say was that Winter Soldier had all this like political intrigue. It was very serious, and gritty. And Civil War is kind of promising to be the same tone. I'm interested to see how they do Giant Man without it coming across as silly. Like, how do you not have
It's
a
New
giant
York
person?
It's
Have
New
a
York
penis
Okay.
Magazine.
joke.
Holy
Okay.
shit, that is impressive.
Well,
1, 2,
I don't know
3,
if I would use that
depends on
word.
how you define
7,
impressive
8,
there.
9,
Yeah.
10, 30.
Oh, what's so jiggly and
It's
wiggly?
35 women sitting in
Yellow
chairs and
makes
one empty
watermelons
chair.
wiggle.
That's fucked up. This dude needs to go to jail.
He's a superhero. He's Black
No.
Sex Panther.
Cliff-
70% of the time, he rapes them every time.
Cliff
Oh,
Huxtable is-
man. Cliff Huxtable is what?
Is a jerk.
Cliff
Oh, I
fucks them
felt-
all.
Pirate takes the easy road.
Or you can just say Click fucks them. Click fucks
Cliff
them.
Huxtable, Cliff fucks them all. I wonder if he used that in his fucking dressing room.
Baby, it's cold outside. Let me slip
Ghost.
something
Look
in your
at Topher
drink.
is like
Ghost Dad thinks he
ashamed.
can be sneaky.
Ghost Dad. Ghost Dad sneaks in the middle of the night and fucks you.
Oh my god.
In the butt.
Oh, what do you think happens to him? I mean, what do you think happens to him? know
I
this isn't
think
comic related,
I think
but-
he's going to change his name to Leonard 69 instead
I
of
mean,
Leonard
do you
6.
do you think he actually sees time in jail?
Mm,
It's unfortunately not likely because like it's so hard to prove anything like that after the fact. That you can provide all the stories you want, but it's just so hard to pin that on somebody because it's all anecdotal evidence and it's just a their word against his kind of thing.
Yeah, but you don't have
And-
to prove anything. You just got to convince 12 people.
Well,
if it
you're
goes
supposed to
jury-
convince them beyond reasonable doubt
Yeah, but
and without like
70 fucking accusations. I mean,
Yeah, but it's not the
yeah, but
it's
the,
hard for a
you know the-
defense.
exactly. Well, the defense is going to come out and say like, You know, like-
Defense. Defense.
Oh man.
you know that the defense is going to come out and do the whole, oh, anytime a celebrity gets accused of anything, there's always like 40 other people that, jump out of the woodwork and want to get in on it and want their 15 minutes of fame. They're only accusing him because he's famous and they want to get famous. Like it sucks for the victims because, they basically
brings all the
victimized twice, but, they're going to introduce that and then they're going to make it look like doubt. And it's just really hard to pin that on anybody.
I think the problem that they're going to have, the biggest problem they're going to have as far as prosecution goes, is the defense is going to say, like Chris said, that it's right when all these accusations started coming to limelight or basically getting blown open, at least in the public's eye, is right around the time his show was going to get repicked back up. So they're going to say, "Oh, these people were just going to cash in real quick."
Yeah, but it did come up like back in 2012.
It did, but it never came. It never came up in like the big public eyes. Like it wasn't blown open.
Part of that is because
with all these people.
Part of that was because it didn't get spread around because Twitter and Facebook weren't nearly what they are now.
Oh yeah, they were. No. Facebook and Twitter.
Back
in 2012,
it may not have been 2012, but it was.
Hey,
it may have been 2009. I can't remember.
He's pretty much already been convicted in the court of public opinion, but like, when does a celebrity ever do time for fucking anything?
Martha Stewart,
especially something, something that you can't find actual financial records for, like
O.J. Simpson.
Not James Brown, who is Hall of Famer Ron Carew.
I mean,
so how do we get from Giant Man to Bill Cosby?
I don't know.
Were we talking about Falcon or Black Panther?
Sexy Black Panther.
I don't know how we got there. Anyway, last story: possibility of Green Lantern in Batman v Superman. Pirate, you brought this one to the table.
All right, so this guy who is playing Hal Jordan.
I just want to note real quick. I'm going to interrupt him, but I just want to note how much more prepared he was than Brian.
And yet you still interrupted him.
Stars for Pirate. Go ahead.
All right. So back a while ago, we talked about this before, where I said there was this guy they found a picture of him. He was cast as a drone pilot operator for the set of Batman v Superman. And in the photo, he was like, he took a picture and posted it up on Twitter, or Instagram. I can't remember what the guy's name is, but he had on, well, that's what the character's name is, but he had a Hal Jordan looking outfit. He had kind of like a bomber jacket with like the fur line, and he looked had the Hal Jordan cut, looked very Hal Jordan, but this guy was a no-name. Well, all of a sudden, everybody has these interviews going on. Brian posted a link about, what was it, last week? A couple days ago?
I think last week.
That was a Reddit thread about someone who showed up to a Warner Brothers video screening. And in the comments, I'm sorry, not in the comments, but in the Reddit thread, the guy posted a picture of his invitation to the screening. It didn't say what movie. And he went into details with spoilers about what happens in the movie. And in the movie, he says Hal Jordan is a pilot in the film, and there's an attack scene. There's a flight scene, combat scene. And during that scene, he ends up busting out and becoming Green Lantern. So he's already in the Green Lantern Corps. That being said, but I don't know if they're going to have that, because they have confirmed now that Hal Jordan is in the film, but I don't know if it's going to be Green Lantern. I know the other ones are getting cameos, like Cyborg's in it, but he's not Cyborg yet.
That Reddit thread said he's going to become Cyborg.
Yeah, but
from a bunch of like LexCorp tech that his father puts in him.
Yeah, well, because Bill Cosby is dead.
Let me put the Joe.
Let me put this pop in your bow.
Dan Amboyer is the drone pilot. He's listed on IMDb as drone pilot. Confirmed.
They also said in that same Reddit thread that Flash's outfit's like the same material as Superman's, and they think it's like Kryptonian. He like somehow got Kryptonian armor, and that's his outfit.
Oh, and they talked about Doomsday. They said Doomsday, what we've seen of Doomsday.
Every time he gets like cut
Yeah,
He
gets the
grows bone
spikes
armor.
and shit. Yeah, so he ends up becoming the Doomsday of the comics. We just don't see it in the trailer. They said basically the first two acts is all about, or the first act is all about Superman and Batman's beef, and then the next, all of it coming up is you have
No, the first act was all like they said the first act was all to do with like the ramifications and stuff after
Yeah, that's
Superman's
right.
little thing. Second act was all Batman versus Superman, and the third act was all Justice League. Superman, Batman coming together with Wonder Woman, facing like LexCorp drones, and then the rest of Justice League pops up halfway
Seen
through
that. There's
that.
a rumor that Jenna Malone is going to play Barbara Gordon.
Yeah, and
Oh, Commissioner Gordon's not dead in this. He's retired.
yeah, he's retired. Jason Todd's the one that got killed. There's a lot of Joker references, like that letter we see in the trailer. Dick
Which
Grayson
still bugs
is,
the fuck out of me.
yeah, Dick Grayson is retired or something, or so. No, they said Dick Grayson's somewhere doing on a secret mission, and
Moved to Bloodhaven.
and the dude that kept on popping up in the set photos with the green socks, the CG socks, is
That's
Jimmy
Brainiac.
Olsen. No, it's Jimmy Olsen, and
Oh,
he,
it said that in there?
yeah, it's Jimmy Olsen. He's like he was injured
Is
in
it
the
Jimmy
whole,
Olsen?
yeah, Jimmy Olsen, and he's injured by
Jimmy
the
Olsen
whole
slash
God
Lieutenant
fight.
Dan.
So it's Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, Jimmy Olsen.
Jimmy
Slash
Olsen.
Lieutenant Dan.
Jimmy Olsen.
All
Bill
right.
Cosby is Perry
Obviously,
White.
That's it for this episode of Comic Book Nerd Nation. I'm Fox 2. We got Pirate.
Good day, everybody, or night, or whatever this is.
Topher,
Jimmy Olsen.
and the whole Evan Brian.
Good night, everybody.
Jimmy Olsen.
Had